And we get the broken dump truck to dump again. Oh boy. Filled up this hydraulic reservoir with fluid. But today, we're gonna drain this. Taking a step back to make a step forward, hopefully. Let me grab our underneath creeper here so we can lay down in luxury. When Derek was over fixing the excavator, he helped me out and gave me some pointers. Thought is, this guy here is the incoming line. So this is like your suction line. We're gonna pull this off of here, shove something real thick. So I have gear oil. We'll put that inside here. That should get the pump to prime itself again. If you look, this has a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 different hoses. Because this cylinder is actually power up and power down. Most of the time they're just gravity, so gravity lets it fall down. The cool thing about that is, for say you ever got something jammed in here like a rock or something and this thing doesn't want to come back down on you, you can go ahead, hit that lever, and it will suck it right back down with as much power as it had to push it up. Now go up to our toolbox, rags, standard wrenches. Whoop, we just lost one too. Definitely gonna need a hammer. And I'm gonna say the large Knipex just in case. I'm sure none of that'll be nice and cooperative, so we'll also do the wrench extender. Lastly, a little bit of free to help it get loose. Let's take all this and get to work with it. I want to say never ever work under something like this not supported. We have 1 safety measure, 2 safety measures, and the factory 3rd safety measure. We'll start with giving that a nice little bath. I'm gonna guess 1 1/8. Too small. I always thought this was a decent size set, but lately this set's been too small for half the stuff I'm trying to get on. And bingo. With this truck, I've learned that no matter what I'm doing, I should be wearing safety glasses. As someone who almost lost their life to a fire, take it from me, don't skip out on safety. It just isn't worth your life. That is really darn tight. Nothing a little leverage can't solve here if we can't just try and get that to move. Well, we're moving, but unfortunately, moving is all one big piece, and that's just spinning. The old 1 wrench up, 1 wrench down technique. We got her loose. Lose our wrench extender. As I loosen this, mind you, that line is connected to the hydraulic reservoir. So whenever this line opens, whatever's left in it is going to just dump out of here. Can't fit a 5-gallon bucket under here, so we got this guy cut open. We'll see how much we can catch. Feel like I can just wait for this to become an absolute mess as I sit here and hold this all up. Oh gosh, here we go. Oh boy. That's not good. Okay, our plane is working. This is good. I can't see how full that's getting, but I think it's getting close. I didn't think it would all come from here. I have no clue where this is even coming from at this point. So how did we have more in the pump than we had in the reservoir? I don't understand. That makes no sense to me. What I'd like to do now is somehow loosen this up so we can turn this 90 upright. That way we can dump our gear oil and everything into here. Push this up just a little bit. There we go. That'll be enough to at least pour it in and get it to go down. Look at that. Almost like we planned it. You best believe we're going to be using the old pump method, which I purchased after this bed was down and we were trying to work through like this little gap right here to try and fill this guy up. If you own one of these dump trucks, you want to own one of these. Back under we go. The theory is we'll pump some gear oil down in there. Hopefully this works its way down to the pump and kind of seals itself up so that I can get prime and keep going. See if we can do this one-handed here. Oh, there we go. A little bit. Well, we gave her a pretty good amount inside of there, as much as we could get. And we'll get this back to level. Take our hydraulic line. There's no machine surface or O-ring or anything, so this is going to seal on the threads. We're going to need some thread tape to put back on that. All taped up. We are nice and tight. Get our wrenches back. Next thing I want to do is actually loosen up this fitting right here, because it would feed fluid from the bottom, pushing the rod out. By doing that, all we're doing is giving that air a place to escape when we put it in the power up feature. Hopefully giving that air an easier route to leave. That's what we're after, finger loose. Now that air has a place to go. Next up is to refill this guy up with hydraulic oil. We are full, actually over full. Let's jump in here, fire it up, see what happens. We did not drink nearly any fluid at all. I see some air trying to come out though. The fact that it's burping and gurgling like that makes me want to think like something's turning in there, like we're engaging. This is just really starting to mind boggle me. Around the hydraulic cylinder fitting, it is completely dry. That's what we should have been pressurizing. I was hoping to see something coming out of here. It's not like it can't push out. It's open. Here's one thing I don't like is I can take this without the clutch out. I can throw it in. Looks like we did drink some of that. Let's see how much we can put back in. Unfortunately, it was only a few drops. I think all I can do from here is maybe just try and let it run a little long. Looks like it sucked it down some more. I was getting hopeless, but this just drank, I mean, a solid probably 2 gallons, I'd say. I don't know where it's going because we don't have anything here. Maybe all these lines are taking 2 gallons to fill up. I'm not sure. This is interesting. Watch the fluid level back here. Sucks it down when you raise the RPMs and then it just goes right back up. Try pushing up. Whoa. Okay, so revving it up and down, this whole truck was trying to lift off the ground. Pushing down on these 4x4s and trying to lift the whole thing up in the air. Let's make sure these are still sturdy. I question if this needs to be a sealed system. Like as you saw when I put in the up position, fluid was flying out of here. I don't know how because this thing doesn't really look that sealed, but anyways, we'll put this in. I question if I cap this off, if it will now come out of here where we want it to come out. This is one goofy hydraulic system that is just throwing me for a loop. Not that I'm any well-versed person in hydraulics or anything. Okay, we'll try that. Here trying to grind, we got resistance now. I think we got that primed. We got some foam coming out of there, that's good, that's perfect. We're definitely primed now. I would say the reason it wasn't grinding before is because we had no resistance. But we stopped moving and I don't trust any of this, so we're gonna stay low. We're gonna open this cap back up and see if it maybe is dry in here. It's definitely pressurized in there. I don't understand how this is a closed loop system, but I guess that's what it is. Pop back off, loosen this up just a little bit more. Let's see if we can get fluid really coming out of there. Fluid looks pretty clean, not too much air, so let's close that up. Just maybe this thing's gonna start lifting up for us. Fingers crossed, let's see what happens. Kept this in lower until it started to lift the truck, and it just took like 2 gallons of fluid. I think it's because we had to fill the other side of that cylinder. Maybe someone has a better idea what's going on than me. Basically where I'm at is you put the lever in the down position. It'll literally start picking the truck up off these 4x4s, sucks the fluid low in the tank. So I sucked it as low as I could, got the thing almost lifted off the ground, filled it up, put it forward with the cap off, it blows the fluid out. So I put the cap on, revved it up, and the thing just still won't lift up. Maybe I'm doing some bleeding procedure wrong that it only goes down rather than up, but you guys let me know.